Many people are talking about the age of Aquarius right now, but not many people are talking about it in the nature of what it truly is or truly means. So a lot of things you're going to hear are delusions of optimism for the world, and it's just not that. It's positive transformation. It's deeply, deeply transformative. It's really powerfully transformative, but something like giving birth, right, is a good example of what the age of Aquarius will be like. It's not fluffy light, everything's going to be heart-centered love land. It's gonna be pain, revolution, all of these big shifts in consciousness. Aquarius is all about the collective consciousness, natural law, the element of air, and going beyond this physical realm. So it's all metaphysical. It also includes artificial intelligence. It also includes, what's it called? Android type merging with technology sort of thing. So the age of Aquarius doesn't truly start until about the middle of February, where almost all of the planetary forces in our solar system will be in the constellation, the sign of Aquarius. So if you know anything deeply about astrology, bear with me, and if you know almost nothing about astrology, this is going to be very beneficial for you. Aquarius is the sign of rebellion. Aquarius is air. Air thrives on freedom, right? So air is all about free flow, non-attachment, thought, and respiration, which is also includes your self-worth and how you value others. So when we look at all of the planets and all of the alignments in our solar system shifting into the age of Aquarius, shifting into the sign of Aquarius, what we're going to be going through now for quite some time is the birth pains of freedom. Right now, we have an illusion of freedom. We have an illusion of free speech. You can't say whatever you want. Go walk up to a policeman and start. There's some words you can say that will get you locked away. And that's not free. We have people incarcerated in the United States for petty drug crimes that don't exist anymore, like smoking cannabis, like selling cannabis. And you know what they're doing right now? They're behind bars, fiddling and being used as labor, prison labor. So that's not free, but the process of that changing is not going to be easy, and it's not going to be love and light, fluffy town. It's going to be pretty explosive, like more like a tornado air element than a nice gentle summer breeze, so to say. So that's part of the dynamic that's going to shift through the age of Aquarius. We have things like that. Then we have things like people getting locked away for tax reasons. So, especially in the United States of America, or the divided states of America, your tax money is meant to keep the American public below that glass ceiling, making sure they don't get close enough to smash the glass ceiling, and goes to military. So that's the dominator culture. That is patriarchal violence and domination and tyranny in its finest, most refined form. So seeing as we're shifting out of a Capricorn and out of other Earth signs in the major planetary alignments into Aquarius, you're going to see that people have freedom of thought now because of, like we were saying before, artificial intelligence, because of your phone, because of the unlocking of deeper mysteries historically of ancient sage culture, ancient Taoism, Hinduism, all these ancient wisdoms being released to the public. Wisdom is power, and wisdom is freedom. If you're wise enough, you could slip through any hole or crack that the dominator culture structurally tries to imprison you into. So it's very much so like the Matrix right now. A lot of artificial intelligence, which is going to become the new adversary, the new villain in the age of Pisces, which we just came out of. It was a lot of dominance in old natural ways, dominated by sword, which is a metal element, dominated by spear, which is wood element, dominated by castles, stone element. But that's no longer the case. Now it's big tech. There's no discrediting the fact that the wealthiest people right now and the people who have the most authoritative control are big tech companies, as well as synthetic drugs, synthetic mind control in the form of media. So all of this is being dismantled by the pure freedom element of Aquarius. And no wonder you have lockdown and wear a mask, all of these things which are inevitable results of old white men, sometimes other cultures as well. I don't want to discredit the other villains, but predominantly old white ugly men who can't get laid by any other means are trying desperately to hold on to an old structure of finance, an old structure of control, an old structure of government. All of these things are being inevitably dismantled by the natural forces of the universe. So when we take a deeper look at this, are we really going to continually bend over and be psychologically manipulated, tortured, and controlled by people who have a large following on the internet? Because right now that's who's ruling the world. It's not kings or queens anymore. It's the people who are ruling the world are the people ruling your phone and your computer and the smart technologies, artificial intelligence. So if you want to choose a side, so to say, it's going to be supernatural versus super mechanical. Either you're going to submit, sell your soul to the machine, and become an android, and get Tesla's Neuralink inserted into your brain, get all sorts of injections, and become this sort of android being, which will inevitably sap your life force, which will inevitably further you from the nature of who your soul is, which is more magnificent than anything mankind can build, or choosing the path of supernatural. And this is what the Aquarian Age is bringing up in the world. It's very much so like Star Wars as well, with the battle of the Jedi versus the artificial intelligence, the droids, big tech, and as well as cloning. Cloning is another, would go hand in hand with GMO, genetically modified vaccinations, genetically modified viruses. For any of you who don't know what GMO is the using of a virus implanted with genetic information, genetic code, to change the cellular structure or dynamic of a natural being. So that's Monsanto and all of these big farming companies, not big pharma, big farming companies have already been doing this. They've already been yielding more fruit by using a virus to transform, say, like an orange to be more sweet or more big. And corn, all these different crops have been genetically modified. But once you go messing with the code of the creator, code of Mother Nature, code of the Big Bang, whatever you want to call the cosmic force that binds us all, we're beyond that. Age of Aquarius is like, yeah, okay, Krishna, same, God, same, goddess, same, Mother Nature, Big Bang, it's all the same thing. It's all literally the same thing that people argue about. Anyways, if you go messing with the perfection of nature, it never goes well. Look at the state of the planet. The more machines we create, the more flaws we introduce to our environment. And this is an ego problem, right? This is oh, I'm a genius, I'm gonna create this machine that makes this easier, and then it F's up the environment. Oh, I'm gonna make this supercomputer that blah blah blah, whatever they're making it for, and then it starts operating on its own mechanisms, and like the movie I, Robot. Anyways, getting a little bit off track with that one, but the supernatural is a going back to the old ways, to the old gods and goddesses, to the old Qigong practices, yoga practices, Native American shamanism. Going back to the roots of your indigenous culture. If you're a European woman or man, going to the roots of the Celtic culture and unlocking their connection to nature. If you're Native American, going into your own tribal history and learning about the ancient wisdom keepers and cultures and cultural mythology and stuff like that. When you tap into your deeper intuition, your deeper spiritual abilities, your deeper meditative abilities, energetic capabilities, that's the way you will be able to compete with this very imposing, mechanically induced culture that we are entering into. This Age of Aquarius most likely is going to see us going beyond the moon, going beyond Mars, and becoming an intergalactic culture. We're going to have personal home robotics. All of this is coming, and it's being prepared as we speak, let's so to say. So, as this Age of Aquarius is being prepared on both sides of morality, on the natural and mechanical, you must also learn to prepare yourself. All about freedom. Freedom. Yeah, like Braveheart. You will not take my freedom! Establish that kind of vibe within you, because most people honestly sell their morality, which is your soul, is naturally and included within your soul is a natural aspect of morality, heart-centered consciousness at many different levels. Most people tap out their morality at about $100,000. Let's be honest here. The average person will do something completely immoral, even if it's minor, for about $100,000. And then maybe $100 million, most people would tap out their morality for $100 million. And get into the billions, like big tech companies and big pharma companies throwing around billions. $1 billion, I'd say about 80% of everyone you know would tap out their morality for it, or sell you out for $1 billion. So, freedom, non-attachment. I'm not attached to you, not attached to you. If crap hits the fan and you gotta cut cords with everyone, everything, this is a time of freedom. It's gonna be a very challenging transition for many people, but if your freedom is being compromised in this age, you either think and learn to act like an Aquarius, which is very Jedi-like, very metaphysical, very freedom of thought, very freedom of heart. Either you get that, or you're just gonna get deeper and deeper sucked into the mechanical matrix. Now, I'm not word by word being, let's say, literal about the matrix, but what I'm essentially saying is that a matrix is a field or something that holds something together. So a society is a matrix. Your body is a matrix. All of these different natural matrix exist. Whereas you go into this beautiful windy forest and it will make you happy eventually. it'll heal your soul eventually. But if you go in down the road of mechanical, it's cold, it's metallic, it's emotionless, and there's only one thing worse than having really bad karma or being a really terrible person. The only thing that's worse than that is not being able to have morality or feeling at all. And that's what's going to start to happen to people, and you're going to witness it, and you're going to maybe say, oh yeah, I remember the psychic oracle Owen said that. We prophets are going to come back in this age of Aquarius, okay? I'm reawakening the natural wisdom that flows through this antenna, this mind, and many great psychics are reawakening. And soon, the oracles and psychics will be respected once again, the prophets. Because there's a reason why they kill us, right? John Lennon, pop! Martin Luther King, pop! Why is that? They're prophets. They're prophetic individuals who create a world that's more free. Martin Luther King's dream, we're living it. I have friends from every culture imaginable. Maybe not like, well, even Eastern European. I was just going to say maybe not Siberia, but I got friends that are Russian, Estonian. Got friends from all different parts of Africa, Polynesia, Asia. We're living Martin Luther King's dream, and they killed him for that. And big love and homage to all the heroes of the African culture. Toussaint Louverture, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, all those who stood, Harriet Tubman, all those badass people who stood in the face of this BS that society tries to put all races through. And they made us all freer for it. Because there was European white-skinned people who were living in the early 1900s that also felt it was complete BS that there was, racism going down. And I'm talking about harsh racism. Oh, and by the way, for Black History Month, Bill Gates is a big old racist. Bill and Melinda Gates said